The concrete floor was cold, a harsh greeting to consciousness. I blinked, my vision swimming into focus. I wasn't alone. 5 of us, strangers, sat scattered in a perfect circle, the smooth curve of a windowless wall our only horizon. In the center of our strange prison, a single door pulsed with an ethereal white light. It was seamless, featureless, save for 5 symbols etched into the stone above it. A stylized heart, a balanced scale, a clenched fist, a reaching hand, and an open book. We stared, a silent question hanging in the sterile air. Then, a voice. It wasn't loud, but it filled the space completely, calm and unnervingly serene. "Welcome, survivors," it said, the words echoing without a source. "You have endured, you have persevered. This is the final trial, a test not of strength, but of spirit, not of cunning, but of conscience. The door will open for those who are worthy. The choice is yours." Panic, raw and immediate, erupted. A man in a torn business suit, his name, we'd learned, was Marcus, lunged for the door, slamming his fists against its glowing surface. It didn't budge, the light rippling under his assault, but holding firm. He cursed, his face a mask of frustration. Across from me, a young woman named Lina, her face smudged with dirt, just watched him, her expression unreadable. An older man, Elias, with kind but weary eyes, urged Marcus to calm down, his voice a low rumble of reason. Beside him, a woman named Zara wrapped her arms around herself, trembling, days blurred into an agonizing loop of hunger, thirst, and suspicion. The glowing door was our sun and our moon, its constant, silent judgment a weight on our souls. We had no food, no water, just the clothes on our backs and the growing dread in our hearts. The symbols above the door became our obsession. The heart for love, the scale for justice, the fist for strength. We argued endlessly, our theories growing more desperate. Maybe we had to press them in a sequence. Maybe it was a riddle. Maybe we were meant to die here. The confinement wore us down, peeling back the layers of civility. Stories began to surface, whispered in the dim, constant twilight. Marcus, the businessman, confessed how he'd climbed his corporate ladder, stepping on friends and colleagues without a second thought. It was just business, he'd say, but his eyes told a different story. Lina spoke of a time she'd abandoned a friend during an escape, a choice that had haunted her every waking moment since. Zara admitted to hoarding supplies, letting others go without so she could feel secure. Even Elias, the kind old man, spoke of a promise he broke to his family, a selfish decision made in a moment of fear. My own past felt like a lead weight in my gut. I remembered the faces of people I'd wronged, the trust I'd broken. I had always put myself first, convinced that survival was a zero-sum game. Here, in this concrete confessional, that logic felt hollow, shameful. We were a collection of regrets, a museum of moral failures. The door remained closed. The arguments grew more heated. Zara accused Elias of being capricious. Marcus snarled that Lina was no better than him. We were turning on each other, the very thing the test was likely designed to provoke. During one particularly vicious fight, Lina suddenly went quiet. She stared at the door, her eyes wide. "It's not about what we do," she whispered, her voice filled with a dawning horror. "It's not about the symbols. It's about what we're willing to do. It's measuring our intent." A chilling silence fell over the room. She was right. The door wasn't a lock to be picked. It was a judge. It was waiting for one of us to make a genuine choice, a selfless one. The calm voice had said it would open for those who were worthy. It never said it would open for all of us. The implication was terrifying. One of us had to be the sacrifice. One of us had to prove their worth by giving up their own chance to leave. We looked at each other, not as fellow survivors, but as rivals in a final, terrible contest. Who was the most selfish? Who was the least worthy? The air crackled with a new kind of tension, the weight of a life or death decision. Do you condemn someone else to save yourself? Or do you condemn yourself to save them? The past betrayals we deconfessed now felt like damning evidence in a trial for our very souls. Days passed in this new, agonizing stalemate. No one spoke. The silence was heavier than any argument. We were trapped, not by the walls, but by our own self-preservation. Then, Elias, the old man, slowly got to his feet. His movements were deliberate, his face set with a painful resolve. He looked at each of us, his gaze lingering for a moment. "I have lived a long life," he began, his voice raspy. "I've made my mistakes, more than my share. My family is gone. You all have futures." He took a step toward the door. "I am not a good man. maybe one right choice could matter. He wasn't looking at us anymore, but at the glowing door, at the symbols. He was confessing, not to us, but to whatever was listening. He was accepting his fate. He was choosing to stay, so we could go. He placed his hand on the door. He didn't push. He just rested it there, a gesture of surrender. And then, it happened. A low hum filled the room, and for the first time, the white light intensified, growing almost blinding. A vertical seam of pure black appeared down the middle of the door, widening with a sound like grinding stone. Fresh air, smelling of rain and earth, washed over us. It was open. Elias didn't turn around. "Go," he said, his voice a command. "Live," and tried to be better than I was. We hesitated for only a second. The primal urge to survive, to escape, was too strong. One by one, we scrambled through the opening, stumbling out into a world bathed in the soft light of dawn. We didn't look back. We couldn't. We were free, but the cost was a weight we would carry forever. We had been judged, and we had been found wanting. The door had opened, not because we were worthy, but because someone else was. And we, the survivors, stepped into the light, forever burdened by the choice we didn't have the courage to make.